But I still have this like this commercial that was stuck in my head for this like classic rock and roll compilation. It was like a CD they were selling, and it was like Jeremiah was a bullfrog. And then somebody going, turn it up. And like I think about it once a week. I don't know why.
Why?
Because it's like...
Is it trauma-based? It sounds like trauma, man.
It was just one of those commercials that like you heard all the time. And so definitely all the songs that were used in the commercial, like every time I hear them, I immediately go to it. And it's like all of like the classic rock stuff, the staples, you know what I mean? But I just always think this one woman going, turn it up.
See, I think for me, it's just one commercial, and I think I remember seeing it for the first time, like when I used to visit my aunts in Texas, when I was a kid. It was this commercial for a like an auto body shop, or like they fix transmissions or whatever. And the outro for this commercial they would say, "We put the yeehaw back in your motor and transmission."
That's perfect. That's perfect.
And I remember it would be the woman would be driving out of this place in her Cadillac, waving her hat around. And
we put the yeehaw back in your motor and transmission.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only one I like stayed with me for any length of time. We put the yeehaw back in your motor and transmission. Oh, and the "Where's the beef" lady?
Yeah,
where's the beef?
Where's the beef?
I was like, why is this old white woman asking about beef? That's hilarious. It was hilarious to me.
Well, this is what we into. My baby's in the backseat. And sometimes we are into commercials from the 80s that pop into our brains and randomly remember them for no reason. I'm your host, Lawrence Dial.
And I'm your boy, Rob Karma Robinson. Here we are again, week 44, yo.
Week 44.
Closing in on a solid year worth of a podcast, man.
That's true.
How do you
Closing
feel?
in. I feel tired.
Yeah.
Podcasts make you tired.
No, I think you having kids and a family is what makes you tired. Because I'm tired, but for completely different reasons. And I don't think
why are
it's a
you
podcast.
tired this week?
Oh, because
this is our weekly Why Are We Tired?
I had some back-to-back.
section.
I had some really long back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
I did sort of like 50-plus hour weeks for the last couple.
Did you do another one? Because you did one last week. You did another one this week.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think you were like not on the radar at all this week.
Yeah, it was like I got done. I actually got done earlier this week than I had wanted to, and I didn't subsequently pick up more work because I was wrecked. I was just I need 2 days of solid nothing to do time where I actually just woke up, ate, and then went back to sleep again.
Nice.
I think that was Wednesday. That was Wednesday.
Your body was like, wake up.
It was like, yeah,
You're
like,
hungry.
You should go do some stuff. And my body was like, no, you should just order Seamless and then go right back to sleep. So, yeah, it was a rough one.
I'm going to turn my mic down here just a little bit because I am hearing myself too much.
Wow, you don't like hearing yourself?
No, but like I don't like hearing
love
myself
hearing
so loud that
made me
like
a narcissist.
it makes me quieter when I know the proper tone. Anyways, I have something to admit to you. We lost 45 minutes of the last episode.
Of course we did.
I spent 2+ hours yesterday, and I edited this sort of like masterpiece. I took out all of like the stupid filler that we had, you know, just little bits of the dumb stuff that didn't go anywhere.
It was a long one.
Had all the good stuff in there, and then went to save it. Was like done, and for some reason, like it didn't save properly. It has to do with like when we stopped recording last week, my computer was full and it wouldn't save it. And so it didn't save it for whatever reason, some certain track. So we went to save it later. I don't know why. After I cleared out things of my computer, it didn't save certain. Like my vocals were gone. So it could have just been you. But then this weird thing happened where like I had put up the first part of the episode for the weekly news, right? 43, and it for some reason gave the whole 3 hours, because normally what we do, if you're listening, we do 1 hour of weekly news and we do an hour sort of plus of what we into. We record them at the same time, and then I chop them up and put them out throughout the week so that you don't have to listen to 2 hours, whatever. But we lost the Terminator Dark Fate review.
Oh, okay. But I feel like that's a good thing, because now I can actually go see it, and then we can have a Terminator Dark Fate review back and forth
That's true.
a little bit.
Yeah, so...
Okay.
But we got everything else. We got all the blaxploitation. We got my Dolomite is my name.
Okay.
You had some really good stuff that you said about the blaxploitation thing and about like
Wall Street and there was one of the cats who there was one of the guys I was working with this last couple of weeks. I put him on, and he was really kind of
Is this Pablo?
No, this is another
Pablo
cat.
Picasso.
This is another cat named Roy, who actually started the conversation by asking me if I listened to podcasts, and I was like, not really, but I have my own.
A podcast. What we into is my name, and dope-ass podcast is my game.
And so he started to listen to it while we were, like, on the job site together for, like, 10, 12 hours. And so...
Is this another guy on the job site listening?
Yeah.
Everybody on your job site.
I mean, because I'm always... If I'm not listening to it myself, because I try to listen to it every week, just to make sure it sounds good and we're not.
Last week, okay.
The last couple of weeks I just haven't. I haven't had time. There was no time for me to listen to it, but other cats have been, and so like they'll be on the site and I'll be passing them. We'll be working or whatever, and I'll be like, "You make a really good point in that one." I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Leave me alone.
I have no idea.
You give them the hand.
No, I'm.
You're like the celebrity on the job.
I'm genuinely kind of stoked that people have taken an interest and a liking to it. But one of them brought up the last episode, and they were like, "Hey, man, this is a really good one." And I was like, "What? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about." But so apparently it was a good one.
Well, my apologies to the listeners because I had actually done a really good job at editing out a lot of that filler that had happened, but mostly also because when I shared the file to iTunes. I can't go back and tweak your vocals and my vocals because you were a little hot last time, which is fine because I can turn that down, and I was a little low and I can turn that up.
Always hot.
So the sound is just not great. I apologize to listeners. I did put work in 2+ hours, gone, man, and I immediately got up and was like, I can't believe that just happened. I'd been sitting here from like 4 o'clock till 6.
Did you smoke a bowl?
No, I had to go to work. That was the worst. I had to go to work. I couldn't even smoke a bowl.
So you were mad and then went to work.
And Daisy, my youngest daughter, came out. And she was like ripping up a drawing, and I was like, "What?" And she was angry. I was like, "What happened?" She was like, "I was working on this. It was drying, and from yesterday, and it
was ruined.
The tape ruined it." And I had to sit down. But look, same thing.
Like,
literally,
Daddy just went
to
through this just a second ago, baby girl.
Yeah. And what I told her though, and I was like, because it was true. I was like, but you know what? It's about the process. Art is about the process. And it sounds stupid to say it out loud for a podcast about what we do.
I don't think so.
But I was having a great time editing this podcast. I had all the different blaxploitation themes in there. I found G.W. Bailey clips from Mannequin. I had put those in there.
Ooh, Switcher, you were one sick puppy.
All these different things. I'd actually cut out the whole rambling story about Rami Malek's hands. I remember that because it just I was like, "What the fuck? That's stupid." So it was just
about his hands.
All that's to say, I put in work for this. So do you. We put in work for our listeners. Sometimes it doesn't show. Our apologies. But we appreciate you guys listening on job sites. We appreciate you listening on subways, in your cars. We appreciate you listening at your law office.
I just appreciate people who tune in each week to hear us ramble.
Yeah.
And sometimes get to a cogent, strong point about some of the stuff that we're really into. But sometimes the sausage gets made and it's not a good sausage.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Well, when's a sausage not a good sausage? It's always an okay sausage.
I mean, that's true. I mean, it's usually pretty decent sausage.
Yeah. I mean, you can cook it wrong.
What we're saying is that we're sausage.
Yeah, we are sausage. If you didn't know. If you are a lady and would like to come on the podcast, or a woman, let us know, please. We are dying to have you on. Send us some comments.
I feel like with that last statement that we just said, we're sausage, I don't know how many women are going to be clamoring to come fill that seat. Is what
So you want to speed up the way we make our Hillshire Farm smoked sausage?
Oh, yes, with high-speed equipment.
Hold on. But, young man, you can't rush great taste. We hand-select lean cuts of pork and beef and smoke them slowly, gently, for the taste that other sausage just can't beat.
He's right. Try it yourself. Delicious. I wouldn't change a thing.
Hillshire Farm, for our best taste every time.
Well, we got some news.
Channel 4 News at 6 o'clock.
It's been an interesting week. I mean, there's been some big kind of stuff happening in the nerd world.
Yeah. What's the biggest thing for you right now off the top of your head?
I mean, I think the biggest thing in both our lives, I mean, obviously you've seen The Mandalorian, so Disney Plus. I think it's the biggest news for this particular week that we can probably talk about right here at the jump.
Disney Plus, Disney's new streaming service, has over 400 movies and over 7,500 television episodes. I'm going to say every Pixar, Marvel, National Geographic, Star Wars, and Disney movie/TV show. Starting right now.
Yeah, I can talk right off.
I mean, you bought it? You bought the service?
You didn't.
God,
no.
You kidding?
I
told you that.
I can give you my password and code.
I know you can,
but
and I know it's a principle about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to support Disney as a company because they're a shit fucking company.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Disney Plus. Tuesday, the 12th, right?
Tuesday, and actually, I didn't even know. I was going through news on my phone.
Oh, no shit.
And it was like, "Hey, Disney Plus is out. You can watch The Mandalorian." And I was like,
"Oh, you
God.
hadn't even turned on your PlayStation then?" Because literally when you turn on your PlayStation and when you use your PlayStation for like Netflix or whatever,
and it revs up like an aircraft carrier.
Well, no, fuck you. Stop talking shit because it was trauma. I almost yeah. Anyway.
You almost lost your PlayStation this week.
Yeah, it was crazy. I will talk about it, but not until we get to that sec. But so. So the news, so like when you boot up your PlayStation and you go into like video section to open the app for Netflix, it's usually the first app that you can click on.
Mm-hmm.
And when I booted up my PlayStation this week, it wasn't the first app that you could click on because that app was replaced by the Disney Plus app that you can now click on first.
Whoa.
It was like literally the first
How much
thing
did they pay for that?
I mean,
who knows?
I don't know. Who knows? I mean,
they paid him something though.
They had to.
Sony's not just going to be like, "Sure, we'll put your thing front and center."
It's first. It's the first app that you can click on to get videos for your PlayStation.
Yes.
So I was like, "Oh."
So you don't know about the user experience?
Yes, I do because I promptly started to like my newsfeed started to get inundated with these. How the streaming service was down for so many people. How a bunch of people couldn't access the thing on day one like they had claimed they wanted to. You just had to keep refreshing and refreshing and refreshing until you were able to use it.
Yeah.
So Wild Yellowstone, world's greatest dogs.
Okay, so I'm like sitting there just like kind of going through my phone. Mm-hmm. Kids are about to leave for school, and that's when I hear about it. So I'm like, okay, go, get out the door, get out of the way.
School, yeah.
Right, so I immediately go to my Roku player, which is we have like a streaming stick. Everybody knows what Roku is, right?
Yeah.
And so I download the Disney Plus app. I click on it, and it doesn't load. Right, it's already loaded to Roku, but the actual app doesn't open. Mm-hmm. I do that 2 or 3 more times. Finally, it opens. Like, okay, that's fine. I get it. It's buggy. Everybody's jumping on it all at once. It's the server overload or whatever the issue is. I can accept that. So then I go and I see The Mandalorian. I'm not ready to watch it yet. And I see all the pictures that we've been looking at on the computer screen. There's the Marvel section, there's the Star Wars section, there's the Walt Disney section, right? And then there's the original section, and Jeff Goldblum's face is on it. He's got like a National Geographic, which I watched one of it, which I'll save for the What We Into episode.
Okay.
The Freemaker Adventures, Rogue One, a Star Wars story, Star Wars Resistance. And
so then, like, finally, I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to watch something, but I'm not going to start with Mandalorian. I'm going to save that just for about 10 minutes. I just want to see what the Star Wars stuff looks like, because apparently it's being broadcast in 4K.
Oh, yeah.
I have it on Blu-ray, but 4K is a slightly better version of Blu-ray, right? So I go to click on it, nothing. It won't play. It says there's an issue. Issue 76, or number 76 issue. Click on it again,
Order
nothing.
66.
Yeah, Order 66. Right. For your Star Wars nerds.
Nerds!
You're a nerd if you got that reference. Finally, it starts to play.
Okay.
Like,
After how much time?
Oh, not too many. About five or six different attempts. It finally plays.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not even that. I would say 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay.
I mean, but there was a question for those 3 or 4 minutes. Is this going to work? And then it played, right? And I was like, okay, so that's working. I go on out of that. I go into the Marvel section. The Marvel section doesn't load. I'm like, at all.
Okay.
Back out of that. Reset the app, back out of it to my Roku player, go back into the user interface for Disney Plus, reboot, right? Marvel's there, still doesn't play. Do that again, come back, then finally Marvel uploads. Because I'm curious what Marvel movies they have on there, what they don't. I'm also curious about the entire format that they have things listed as. They could list Marvel movies any way they want. They could list them in the order they come out. They could list them like these are the sequence that you should watch them leading up to.
These are the ones that made the most money.
Yeah.
These are blah, blah, blah.
There's so many different ways. All they do basically is just throw them up there.
Willy-nilly.
Willy-nilly.
Whatever.
Totally.
Okay.
That's the perfect explanation. Willy-nilly, Dad. They're just all there. So
Okay.
I click on one of them. It doesn't play. 2-3 more times, it finally plays. I'm like, okay, all right. And there we go. So now I'm ready to watch The Mandalorian. I go to click on The Mandalorian. Same thing. 2 or 3 different attempts. Doesn't play. Now I'm finally getting frustrated because I'm like, I've been like dicking around the Disney Plus app for like 35 minutes, just checking stuff out. Now I'm ready
This is first day. This is Tuesday.
This is like 9:30 in the morning on Tuesday. And finally, The Mandalorian plays. I turn off the lights, turn it up really loud because there's no one home.
Right.
And like,
you get to do it. You get to do it like you like.
I get to do what I want.
Yeah.
It's not late at night, which I'm normally like, oh God, I gotta keep it low for the kids, for the people above me, below me. I'm listening to it loud, and I watch The Mandalorian. And we'll talk about that coming up in our next episode. But it played for me.
Okay.
And so to me, I'm like, okay, this user interface is kind of dumb. It doesn't really feel like it doesn't feel like an advancement of Netflix. Netflix will play like a little bit of a preview. Some people like, my wife hates that when it plays the previews.
I don't mind it.
I like it because it'll pull me into something for a little bit.
It'll give me a good enough litmus to be like, oh, that's something I might be fucking into.
Yeah. But my wife doesn't like it, and a lot of people don't like it. But this just sort of gives you, at least for me, it was playing clips of some of the Star Wars movies, but there was no audio, which was kind of like in between what Netflix does and what Amazon does, which is nothing.
Right.
But yeah, I didn't have humongous issues with it.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that it was disappointing exactly, but they could have done some really cool stuff with a new streaming service.
So what you're saying, ostensibly, it's not a reinvention of the wheel.
No.
But should you, if you're a fan of everything that they're holding onto property-wise,
right,
should you run out and immediately add this? Is this a go-to app to have now?
I'm going to pay for it because I'm going to give it to my brother, and I'm going to give it to my sisters. They can have it, and my parents.
Right.
Everybody in my family pays for something. Charlotte pays for Hulu.
Right.
Mary and Tim pay for almost all the stuff because they get like a cable package because of sports, and so we just log on through them. I don't know what my parents pay for. I can't remember. My brother pays for HBO Go, but I think we also get that through Tim. I don't know. Whatever. So this is my contribution to the
family pool of
streaming service, because we basically have every streaming service. Collectively amongst our 7, 8, 9 family members, right? So that'll be my contribution, but I do feel guilty about it.
Why is that?
Because I'm walking down the street and I'm thinking, I'm just giving $8 to the homogenization of culture.
Did you also catch that came up the news this week about Disney Plus is how so many people are because not only do you get all of their properties, Marvel, Star Wars, and the like, but you also get their entire vault.
Yeah.
So you can go back and watch animation from Steamboat Willie, the first animation that Walt did,
right,
all the way through all of it basically, and how even people are somehow surprised at how racist so much of his early canon work was from the beginning of the century. Like the top of the century Disney shit is so fucking racist. And what they do is they give you a little disclaimer, something to the effect of, oh, well, the cultural... So I forget the exact wording on it, because I was reading it, I was like, this is some laughable shit. Just call it racist. They were saying something like,
I have it here somewhere.
This
Hold
thing
on.
has outdated cultural something or others is what they were using to describe racism in the various Disney pictures, animations and stuff like that.
Oh, what? Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what it is. It's not much, but it's outdated cultural references.
Outdated cultural references, not the fact that this shit is just blatantly racist.
Right. So there's certain movies that really hit that huge.
I can name, I think, most of them.
Which one?
Well, Dumbo right off the top.
Right.
Peter Pan, The Lady and the Tramp, and I think there's like one more.
Do not forget Zippity Doo Dah, Zippity Day.
Oh, I'm forgetting Fantasia.
Well, there's Fantasia. You think you're forgetting Song of the South?
Oh, right, fucking Song of the South.
Yeah, Uncle Remus.
Uncle Remus. Because I was in a play recently that dealt with that. But see, that's not a Disney. See, the Song of the South isn't Disney. That's America. Somebody wrote that.
That's 1946.
Disney just took the Song of the South book that somebody had written and animated it. Song of the South. That's what I said.
I had to point it out because it's so cute.
Song of the South.
Song of the South.
But no, the book had been around for a bit.
Yes.
Like it was written by some old, I was gonna say some old white guy, but
yeah,
he probably wasn't that old when he wrote it. And basically the cat who wrote the Song of the South grew up on a plantation and just basically heard these stories told by the slaves.
Yes,
and then took them, amalgamated them, put them in a book, created this character Uncle Remus, and then you get the Songs of the South.
Yeah.
South.
Well, that's how we're going to flip it.
And subsequently, then Disney comes along in 1946, you said.
Yeah.
And animates them.
Yes.
But, yeah.
So that's not on there.
Oh, and the Jungle Book.
Jungle Book is on there.
Also racist.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of like, there's some Disney that's like overtly racist.
Oh, yeah. Just like blatantly. I mean, Peter Pan, they have a song called Why Is the Red Man Red?
Yes.
Sung by Native Americans.
And I don't know, I haven't checked on that one, but there's some others I checked on, like Dumbo.
Oh, yeah.
Does not feature the crows.
Wait, what?
Yep.
You mean the animation doesn't?
Yep.
So they're going to have the tag on it, but they don't actually show you the actual animation of what it was?
Yep.
Then what the fuck is the point?
The Jim Crow character from the original Dumbo has been edited out of the film version that appears on the streaming service.
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yep.
No. See? No.
Lady and the Tramp has...
they replaced the Siamese cats?
No, but for the live action Lady and the Tramp that's coming to the Disney Plus, they're getting that.
They're doing a live action Lady and the Tramp?
Yep. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
So they say.
So wait, you finished that statement. Coming there.
Oh well, Janelle Monáe. What's her name? Janelle Monáe. You know her name? The singer songwriter. Yeah.
Janelle Monáe.
Yeah. So she's writing a whole new song for the Siamese Cat song, which is interesting. It's like saying hey, we were racist in the past, but that was our ancestors.
See, no, it's not even saying that because they're not even acknowledging that shit. They're like, oh, some of the things maybe have been culturally. What was that? Like, just the term, it was such a whitewashing of what the fuck was going on. Like, I can't. I was trying to be really distinct about the wording of it because on this show words are important.
Yes,
and the way it's worded does not take any fucking responsibility for it.
Let me find
none. And for me, that's another a strike for me to be like, I'm not paying for them. I'm not paying for it. I will watch all of that shit there. I'm not gonna pay for it.
What? How do you think they could have addressed this?
I think they should have just been like, look, we fucked up. The shit was racist. Our founder was a racist, misogynist. Like, they need to pull Walt's card. They need to show that Walt wasn't that guy we saw on the Saturday morning Magical Kingdom talking to us about Donald and shit.
Right.
Like, oh, he wasn't that cherub of a dude. He was a fucking monster.
Donald Trump, fucking monster.
So, they shouldn't sugarcoat it. It basically, and that's part of the problem I had with The Mandalorian. That's
we'll get
almost
to it.
two-thirds of the problem I had with The Mandalorian was their sugar coating of something.
Ooh, I'm really interested now.
It's saccharine as fuck.
We'll get to it. This would be a good SNL skit. Walt Disney comes out and has to literally address
his racist past.
They de-thaw him because they have him frozen in the Disney vault. Basically, they de-thaw him, pull him out, and he's like, "Well, so you're watching Disney Plus. Just so you know, I was wicked racist back in the day.
And kind of an anti-Semite misogynist as well.
Absolutely. You could say I didn't know better, but I did. And here we are.
I mean, that would be much better than...
These things are antiquated and...
This is just I mean, isn't that cute? We used to think like this in the cultural zeitgeist. No, it wasn't a cultural... Don't blame that on the culture.
Or should they just put it all up there and just still own it?
I think they should put it all up there and still own it.
Yeah, like these are the crows.
These are the crows.
Dumbies,
that's
Dimbo,
why I feel like
Dumbies,
I feel like that's why the live action didn't do very well.
Like The Simpsons. Now that is everything on Disney Plus.
I feel like I would have paid the $20. I would have paid the $20. I know we talked about. I would have paid the $20 to see the crows. Just to see how they were gonna just the attempt. Just to attempt, even if they had renamed Jim Crow, I don't know, James Crow or something.
James
You
Crow.
something else. I would have liked them to have tried to own the attempt, not just completely distance themselves and from what is clearly their own history.
Yes.
That's problematic to me.
Oh, I'm about to find this thing.
That's problematic to me.
I'm looking for the exact wording of what it says. Let's see. So Pocahontas doesn't have the disclaimer. Neither does Aladdin. Well, it reads, this program is presented as originally created and may contain outdated cultural depictions.
Outdated cultural depictions, yeah.
Right. Except for the ones that are not presented as they've been originally created,
right.
like Dumbo.
Right. Like The Jungle Book,
So it comes before The Jungle Book. It comes before Swiss Family Robinson.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, because of the pirates, maybe?
Yeah, well, no, because I think some of the pirates, they were kind of caricatures of not swell characters.
They look like Filipino to me.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I should probably go back and check out Swiss Family.
Been a while. That movie was pretty good, though.
I enjoy. I mean,
they ride fucking
ostriches.
ostriches.
They had a fucking ostrich race in it. It was awesome.
So that is not nearly as concerning as one other thing that has come up.
Oh, all right. Well, do tell.
Well, George Lucas.
Oh, not the Greedo scene. The Greedo scene?
Yes.
Again with that shit?
I know. How did you know immediately? You saw.
No, because I didn't see it came up. It was one of the articles that came up that I was like, I'm not reading that shit.
Yeah.
I was like, again with this? I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I refuse to.
So finish this sentence. Finish this sentence for me.
Okay.
Han shot
first.
Right.
Yeah, he shot the dude first.
Everybody fucking knows that.
Everybody knows that.
So George Lucas comes out in the 90s and changes it, right?
Yeah,
and makes Greedo shoot
first, which is bullshit.
Which is bullshit.
It's bullshit.
So now for Disney Plus, only the 4K versions of Star Wars,
who shoots first?
A New Hope, they shoot at the same time, and Greedo misses, and Han shoots him.
Okay.
It's better.
Fine.
It's better.
Fine.
Fine.
I don't know why you just didn't do it in the first fucking place. Just do it in the first fucking place. Okay. So I don't understand the issue of they didn't want Han to seem like a cold-blooded killer, so that's why they made Greedo shoot first. Because originally, I remember seeing it where Han was like, "Tell Jabba," and he's
thing.
unbuckling his
thing.
It's
so not
like,
subtle either.
Not at all. Tell Jabba I'm on my way. Bow! And he shoots him in the fucking chest.
I'm pulling out my gun.
Like all of it.
It was like that thing you did as a little kid. You were like, "Oh, I'm just stretching.
I'm not trying to do anything untoward."
Bam, you're dead.
Yeah. I never understood the reasoning behind messing with anything to do with that.
Exactly.
You know, anyway,
somebody somewhere got it in Lucas's head, like, oh look, he shoots this guy first. He's a cold-blooded killer.
Oh, we can't have one of the most staple characters in the canon be a cold-blooded murderer, can we?
Absolutely not.
Fuck out of here.
Get out of here.
Anyway.
I'd say Han was smart. He knew Greedo was going to kill him or take him to Jabba.
I mean, dude, a dude has a blaster pointed at you. I mean,
it's self-defense.
That's self-defense.
Self-defense.
That's instantly self-defense.
It's like Lucas forgot that the blaster was pointed at him.
Anyway. And anyways, so what else? So that was the biggest thing this week was Disney Plus dropping.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I watched another movie on there real quick before we move off of Disney Plus. I watched The Black Hole. Do you remember that one? It's from I think 1946 or something, or 1980, 86 or something like that.
Disney, this is a Disney joint.
It was kind of like an answer to Google it right now. You'll see pictures of it and you'll immediately recognize it. It was kind of like an answer to Star Wars for Disney, and it starred Robert Forster, who we talked about.
Forster.
Yeah, last
Didn't he
episode.
just die?
Yes. We talked about that last episode, but we were tired, so I'll give you a pass on that one. And it's basically, it's got like a soundtrack by John Barry, and it's basically about these people who are like out in space, and they're kind of around a black hole or discover a black hole, and they find a ship, and then eventually 79, yeah. So 2 years after Star Wars.
Huh. Got a long trailer.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing, but what was interesting is the movie starts with 2 minutes of just the score. And the screen is black, which they used to do for movies.
Wait, so 2 minutes go by in a dark movie theater, and it's just the music.
Yeah, as you're finding your seat and stuff like that, which I think that's great. I feel like they should bring that stuff back.
That's cool.
Like Nighthawk does this, Alamo does this, where you go to see a movie, and if it has any kind of previous history, or if it's part of a franchise, they kind of fill you in on what was going on in that franchise in an interesting way. And this is kind of like a precursor to that. Gone with the Wind does it too. If you watch Gone with the Wind, like they'll give you like 3 minutes or 4 minutes of orchestration and just
well before the
and just the music.
Oh, wow, this looks.
It's interesting.
Cool.
Yeah, it's kind of worth a watch. It has some like shaky special effects, but Robert Forster's in it, and it's in space. And
Ernest fucking Borgnine's in this movie.
Yeah. And look at that little like C-3PO kind of R2-D2 droid character with the eyes.
Oh, I haven't even gotten that far. I'm looking at like what looks like Cylon type. Oh yeah,
yeah.
I do remember. Yes, I do remember.
Yeah,
this.
I knew you did. I knew once you saw that, you'd be like, oh, okay, I remember
the robot for sure, because the robot's been used in other things.
Yes.
The robot, yes.
So that was one of the movies that like I couldn't find anywhere for a while, and that's on Disney. Well, I didn't want to pay like $7 or whatever to watch it.
Right on YouTube or whatever.
There's other earlier Disney movies like that are interesting to see.
I didn't know this was a Disney movie. That's fascinating.
Yeah. There's also the Star Trek stuff is really good. Like you can go on and watch Clone Wars. Mm-hmm. The entire 6 seasons of Clone Wars is on there. Same with Rebels. Same with Star Wars Resistance. So I'm starting to watch Resistance, and Resistance is
not good.
It's not good, but it's fine. It's still Star Wars. There's still like but Resistance almost feels like uninspired to me.
It does. That's exactly what it is. Like, it feels like a cash grab, but without any of the like heart or intention of any of the previous iterations of the property. So
it almost feels like we need a new cartoon.
Yeah.
We need it in 6 months.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Yeah.
Go.
That's what it feels like.
Start immediately.
And it's called Rebels, so like you would
Resistance.
Think, Resistance, whatever.
Rebels is good.
Rebels is great.
Yeah.
Rebels did more for. I feel like Rebels did more for sort of the advancement of some of the canon and lore.
Yeah.
Than some of those movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And that's what the Clone Wars were too. Clone Wars were essentially like, okay, here's all the issues we have with these movies. Let's fill this out. Let's fill the world out and make those not issues. Just make them sort of sidebars.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's about.
Oh man,
I think Disney Plus is going to be big. I think
it already is. Like
to quote one of our taglines, I feel a ways about it.
I do
giving them money.
I definitely feel a ways about it, but I know it's going to make money. It already has made money just by the amount of people in my social thread that have been talking about it and speaking about it. It's going to be huge. I personally am still of the vein like no, I like they're just as a corporation, there's too much that they have done that is just blatantly against anything socially progressive. Mm-hmm. That I'm like, yeah, you make good art, yeah, you make this thing, but I can separate the artist from the art. I can enjoy the art and be like, fuck that artist, don't go see his shit.
Yeah. So this week of New York Magazine, the whole section is called the whole magazine is called "The Weirdness is Coming." That's the cover story.
The weirdness is coming.
Weirdness is coming, and it's sort of like some people predict what 2029 is going to be like, right?
Okay.
And one of the first things that's talked about is we will never know if a movie is a hit. This is let's see who wrote this one
in 2029.
Yeah. So this one's written by Lane Brown. So 2029, we're never going to know if a movie's a hit. And he says, all of the entertainment we used to consume in more independently quantifiable ways via TV ratings, box office, album sales has moved to streaming, where we just have to trust Netflix or Spotify or Apple to tell us how popular it is. And they will almost certainly lie. Netflix occasionally releases random stats about how many people watch something, and they usually strain credibility. In June, it claimed 30.9 million watched a new Adam Sandler movie in its first 3 days, which would have made it one of the
movie.
Probably that one with what's her face? The Tourist. What is it? The Tourist? Her and Jennifer Aniston.
Oh right, no, 30 million people did not watch that bullshit
in the first 3 days.
No,
that's what they said.
That's bullshit.
And the first, which would have made it one of the biggest openings in history if it had been released in theaters. And we never know how successful any movie is when it's released on pay for video, basically via iTunes, Amazon, or cable box. Mm-hmm. Hold on one second. Here we go. Turning page. Because nobody shares any numbers at all, which is strange because streaming is how plenty of non-superhero movies make most of their money now. Obviously, they will know, the producers and stars who benefit, but the public will be living entirely in the dark, never knowing if something is actually a hit or just totally astro-turfed. Do you think it's important that we know things are hits?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it doesn't matter. I think if if a bunch of people get together and collectively start watching and enjoying something, I don't think you necessarily need to get up on a mountain with a fucking megahorn and be like, watch this. I think that's where we come in. That's where like that leaves roles open for cats like us to be like, hey, if you're not up on this, be up on this.
Right. This entire podcast is a product of us being prosumers.
Right.
Basically, we're taking something.
Prosumers.
Yeah, prosumers, not consumers.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, we're essentially taking a product, we're consuming it, and then we are creating a dialogue about it for a community of people in an audience.
Right. And I think that is the future.
Yeah.
I think that is consistently what's been happening, at least in the last decade or so.
Yeah.
Where cats are being like, hey, this is what I love this stuff as much as you may love this stuff, and here's my honest opinion of this stuff. You can either take it or leave it, but, whatever.
There's heartbreak this way, though.
Is there?
Yeah, because shows like the OA, which you didn't really watch.
Well, I know that's not true. I watched that first season and was really into it until the very last moments of the show.
You didn't like the dance-off.
I didn't like that the dance-off was what opened up this world, this door in another dimension that lets her back through. I was like, wait, what? How is this a thing? No. It's not synchronized breathing and dance motions that lets her back into another dimension. No. Fuck you. I was with you up until then. Absolutely not.
Well,
and that's why I think it suffered. That second season, nobody came back for.
What's weird is that I had the exact opposite reaction.
Yeah, you're one of those weirdos.
I had the opposite reaction, which was yes.
Oh, my God.
I love the idea of being able to dance a portal open into... See, you're pretty good at that.
No, fuck you. Kill yourself. No, fuck
you're
that.
You're pretty good at that.
Because I was making so much fun. I was like, this is laughable. This is laughable. They're going to interpretive dance a hole into a window into another dimension. Fuck you. Kill yourself.
Like, if I was, oh God, what's the main actress's name? I can't remember.
Oh, I don't remember it. See?
It's not Brie Larson. It's,
no, it wasn't Brie.
I'll remember it later. But if I was like a multi-millionaire or billionaire, I'd be like, here's $25 million. Go make a third and final season, please.
Wait, so you saw that second season?
Oh, it's great.
It was great?
Yes.
Okay. I'll put it on the list.
Spoiler.
I'll go and see it. I'll go and watch the second season. I just had no desire based on how that first one ended. I was like, so, because the way the first one ended, she dances a window back into her own dimension. Or a dimension that not her own, but she had visited this dimension as a mute blind person. Wasn't she like a mute blind person in this world? And then she goes to that world, gets fixed somehow, comes back with these powers and abilities, and then somehow gets back into that world through her dance, meditation, breathing circle. And then that's where the story kind of picks up. So we're in the dimension she had gone to and had been trying to get to in the second season.
Yeah.
And does it stay there, or does she make it back to this one?
You gotta watch.
Okay.
You gotta watch, man. And it ends on an even bigger cliffhanger.
Wait, as in like it's not coming back because they canceled it.
You know, they say this about a lot of things that will never come back.
They canceled.
Not Netflix, but just like society. It's never gone forever.
Well,
we were never supposed to get a Star Wars TV show. We were never supposed to get more Star Wars than we did.
That's absurd.
To mixed
results. We were always going to get a Star Wars TV show because they had been making Star Wars TV shows, just not live action ones. They've been making Star Wars TV shows since that first Clone Wars movie.
That's true.
So,
well, before that even, they were making droids. Yeah.
So,
and Ewoks.
So the fact that like they were saying, "Oh, we're never," that's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's that fuckery.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Right. Sorry, I got heated because goddamn, the AOA was such a letdown. I wanted it to be such a letdown.
Maybe you need to just watch the second season.
Maybe.
But so there's heartbreak. Where like you're kind of like into a thing like the OA.
I was into it.
I thought in my mind,
last moments.
In my mind, a lot of people were watching it, but apparently not enough.
No. Wait, you mean the second season?
Yeah.
No, I don't think very many people were watching it.
So I was surprised when they canceled it.
I was kind of like, yep.
But then you have other things like The Witcher 2, or excuse me, Witcher Season 2 has just been basically confirmed by Netflix.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, it was one of the things I was into this week was the trailer. I actually sat down and kind of went through the trailer.
Yeah, what'd you find?
I found that I was into it.
Okay.
Like, intrigued by it. The only thing that kind of stuck out for me was some of the CGI.
Mm-hmm.
At least the one bit of CGI I saw in the trailer, I was like, ooh, that looks suspect.
So it's going to be 8 episodes, by the way.
hour long, I'm assuming.
I don't know. It doesn't say.
They can only really do an hour long. I feel like there's got to be an hour long thing.
Were you disappointed? We'll talk more about The Mandalorian, but were you disappointed that the first episode was only 40 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, me
By
too.
a lot.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Second
What?
episode's only 33 minutes.
No. See, and I'm reluctant to talk about it now because I want to wait till we get to that section. But yeah, no. I'm gonna be in the minority here and go out on a limb and say that I don't think that The Mandalorian was all that.
Okay, but we'll talk. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
I don't think it was all that
because I'm gonna fight you like physically. We're gonna wrestle.
You can try.
Get out the baby oil.
Ugh, no thanks. I think I'll check out the baby powder.
No, I'm putting the baby oil. I get slippery.
And I'm gonna put the powder on me to keep me not.
But see, that'll allow me to hold on to you.
No,
but every time you grab me,
it'll cake up. What your oil versus my powder, it'll be a
but what we'll do is
mess.
we'll scrape it off and then we'll put it in the oven. We'll bake it.
Nobody's gonna eat that.
Bake it. A Larry and Rob wrestling cake.
Nobody's gonna eat that.
What else you got?
I got news that.
Oh wait, back to Witcher 2. Basically, yeah. So they basically said,
It's called The Witcher, by the way. It's not
I know.
Witcher 2.
Witcher Season 2. Oh, well, Witcher 3. I mean, they all have numbers. If you're playing... like, I came into the Witcher game at Witcher 3.
Me too.
Did you ever play the other two Witcher games?
No, not necessary. Yeah. You didn't need to.
I think the first one's on PC, right?
I'm pretty sure, yes.
And the second one's on Xbox.
No, I'm pretty sure it was on PlayStation 2 or 3.
No, I would have picked it up. It's not on PlayStation. Positive. You can Google it, but I know these things.
Well, I owned all the 3 systems at one point, so if it wasn't, I'd probably, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You didn't need to.
No.
Because by the time they got to PS4, you basically had in the third game, they basically gave you an overview of the previous 2 games through these choices you could make at the start of the game. That the choices that you they were basically like linchpin choices from the previous games that if you had played those previous games, you would have already naturally made a choice.
Right.
But in the playing of Witcher 3, they let you go back and retroactively make those choices,
right?
So that you could continue the story in Witcher 3, which was great because
that was Mass Effect does that sort of thing too.
Yeah, exactly the way Mass Effect did it. And
some would say that's kind of the future of where movies and storytelling is going. They're going to allow you to make choices of the main character, and those choices will affect the outcome of the film. Or the outcome of what you're experiencing or engaging.
Well, it's not unlike, what you're describing is not unlike what Bandersnatch, a lot of these choose your own adventure kind of properties are trying to do.
Yeah.
With some degree of success, as we discussed on the podcast when we were talking about Bandersnatch.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Like, I feel like that way of storytelling is inevitable. Or inevitable, I guess, is
another part of this 2029 predictions is that there will be a gigantic economic sort of collapse or another
recession.
A very big recession, but that's going to usher in VR. Because
I think you're right. I think VR has had a really kind of fledgling start, and it's kind of plateaued right now. There is no real nobody's really gung-ho to innovate the platform right now.
There's not really enough money coming in. Right.
There's no, in order to really sort of, I feel like, innovate VR and make it the VR that we've kind of dreamed about or seen in sci-fi movies and things since we were kids it's going to take an influx of money, which I don't think a lot of people are willing to give a fledgling industry like that right now. But, we'll see what happens when a gigantic collapse of the economy happens and people are looking for another way to escape.
Right.
Then somebody will be like, oh, you know what would be a great boon right now?
Yeah. By the way, it's also 5 degrees hotter outside, and the sea levels have risen.
Oh, right.
And we're all drowning.
Oh,
so
yeah. Well,
stay inside. Play your VR.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, it's inevitable. So, yeah. What else that article predict?
Oh, I mean, there's a ton of stuff there. I'll read some of them, see if you want to hear about any of them. Party balloons will no longer float.
What?
The television era of politics will end. Racism will thrive, but no one will say the word. Oh, one of the ones that I read, I'm not going to flip through the magazine to find it, but it talked about how Republicans in 2029, by that point, will no longer be denying climate change.
How can they? We'll all be living in like a Jetson style buildings that live above the fucking stratosphere. And
what they'll be doing is they'll be talking about kind of it'd be a form of like eco-fascism, as in, we're America, these are the resources we have. Why should we share any of these resources with anybody else? Which is an extension of kind of the imperialism that's kind of...
That's a very apt prediction, I feel.
Yes.
Woo.
So that's what's coming in our futures. And Republicans are going to go from denying it all to essentially saying we should build more walls and keep all of our resources here because these resources are now limited.
Oh, fuck, man, I won't even be 50 yet,
yeah,
bro.
Motherfucker. Yep.
Ugh.
Yeah. It's right around the corner, man.
I'm not even going to be 50. I mean, I will have been 50 for 5 years at that point, but
yeah.
Not actual 50 yet. Fuck.
No.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's we got to lighten the mood in here, bro. You just made it super heavy in
let's
this.
Lighten the mood.
What else you got?
Let's talk about Google Stadia.
Yeah, soon. That's right around the corner.
Yeah.
22nd, I feel like, of this month? I feel like it's like this month.
Yeah.
Maybe next week.
It's coming out. Let me see here. Basically, there's a bunch of stuff that it's not going to have at launch.
Okay.
Oh, it comes out. Delivery date says it's supposed to come out November 20th to 21st.
I told you, that's next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I might be picking it up sooner than I really want to.
You should not pick it up.
Why not?
Well, there's only 12 games coming out at launch.
Like that 12 games that are new to the system?
12 games on the entire system.
So
all
like
of which
12 brand new games?
No.
I might have
all of which you
before?
can get on PlayStation 4 or other systems.
Well, I might have to anyway because my PlayStation is not going to make it, I think, another year.
It will not have achievement systems. It will not have the ability to use existing Chromecast Ultras to play. It does not have Steam Connect, State Share, or Crowd Play, family sharing.
Why even release it now?
Buddy passes.
It doesn't have any of that stuff.
Because Google is super anxious to get
it out into the market before the holiday season.
Yeah, they want to get out before the holiday season. Red Dead Redemption 2 will be on there. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Borderlands 3 will eventually come. But you're still gonna be paying a monthly service on this thing. Why do that? Well, but I understand why you thinking you want to do that because you're like, I don't want to buy another PlayStation 4.
Well, I don't want to buy another PlayStation 4, but so this week I was playing Neo,
right?
One of the free games. I'd gotten to.
I played it too.
I got to.
It's hard.
It's hard, but I liked it. I liked it, but it got me frustrated to the point where I was like, I'm done. I don't know why I continue to try to play these games. They end up being more frustration for me than the actual fun that I have with them. So I started to delete it.
What did your PlayStation do?
My PlayStation froze in the deletion screen, and that screen is basically don't turn this off while this is doing this thing. But it was frozen.
Yeah,
it had literally like it was deleting it, and it was like don't turn off the PlayStation while the screen is out. But it was frozen.
Right.
So I turned it off.
Right. Because what else are you gonna do?
What else am I supposed to do? And then it wouldn't turn back on. I mean, it turned back on, but it wouldn't load up.
Oh, jeez.
It wouldn't load up.
You haven't jailbroken your PlayStation. It's not like your Google Playbook here or Chromecast thing, whatever.
Which I set back to its factory setting, so it no longer has the developer mode.
Okay, so you still got coding on it?
Yeah, it's still got coding on it.
Oh, okay.
I still got coding on it. I haven't opened it since I set it back, so I don't know. It may not even work. But that was the other thing this week. I had my version of Kodi for my PC at the house had run its course.
How come you don't pirate games?
Because I don't play enough. Games are harder to pirate, one, and I don't turn over games the way I used to enough to warrant pirating.
Right. It's also something nice about just having a game that theoretically is bug free.
Right.
You don't have to deal with the
issues. I don't have to deal with
the
issues of it. And like, if I don't mind going out and spending like I played this was a very video game heavy week for me. I played 4 different titles this week.
And to download all those illegally and then like put them on your PC and then deal with bugs, that's everything. We'll get to those games when we get to what we into. But what were you saying about your PC?
So the version of Kodi that I had on my PC had run its course, so I had to download a new version of it, and I subsequently did, and it was different. It was a different way of downloading and installing than I'm used to with Kodi.
Mm-hmm.
and it worked fine at first, but now I'm not so sure. Like, I was trying to rewatch The Mandalorian last night to sort of keep it fresh on the brain for the podcast, but I couldn't access it as readily as I normally could. It was making me jump through more hoops than normally. So I don't know what has transpired in the subsequent time that the new version came out and got uploaded. I don't know if I have to just rip the entire thing out and reinstall it somehow from an older version. That's
what's so strange. That's not strange, but that's what's so. Because I have another version of downloading things from the internet, and it's a pain. It's a pain to do it.
It's a pain.
And so sometimes I'm just like, this is not worth the $3. I'll just pay it to Amazon Prime.
And I disagree. This is where it kind of...
Right. But you have more time than I do.
That's true.
And so when my kids are like, we want to watch...
XYZ right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And then I'm like, okay.
Fine. Right.
Yeah.
And for the most part, this only happens, once every 3 or 4 months, where the process of getting a new version of Kodi and getting it succinct and running smoothly will require a good portion of time. 2 to 3 hours. If I'm really diligent about it.
Right.
But once it works great. Mostly.
Yeah. So Randy Randerson has a comment about the Google Stadia, which I thought was person. Maybe, who knows. Anyways, it's the first comment. It's the first comment on this Google Stadia webpage here. So he says, "So I know it's cliche at this point to rag on Stadia or Stadia. Is it Stadia or Stadia?
I've been calling it Stadia.
Stadia. I think that's what I call that too. But seriously, what tiny sliver of a demographic is this for at this point? People who want to play a tiny number of AAA games, probably at full price, many years after release and much cheaper elsewhere, but not enough to have purchased a console or PC yet. Who also have the rare lightning-fast internet and no data cap? ? For the same subscription costs, you could sign up for PlayStation Now, which has a much larger catalog that don't require separate purchases, including some fantastic exclusives.
He's right.
Has had a few years to work out the kinks, and is apparently much better than it used to be. Can also stream directly to PC, only requires a cheap PlayStation 4 controller. Those are like $75. They're not that cheap.
Yeah.
Instead of an expensive Stadia controller. I don't know how much Stadia controllers are.
I was under the impression that you could use whatever controller for the Stadia.
I think you can, but not yet. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's what the deal is. Or for $20 a month, you can sign up for the Xbox All Access plan, which leases you the console, which I didn't know about, and includes Xbox Game Pass, which is also a much more feature-rich and logical service than Stadia, and you'll own the console after 2 years. Am I missing something? That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know why you want to get this thing, because you still have to pay for the game. Then you don't even own it, and it's just available through their streaming service. It's like I was trying to put on the episode that I just put out today, Dizzy Gillespie's "Salty Peanuts." It's a jazz song.
Dizzy Gillespie's "Salty" what now?
Peanuts.
Oh.
It's a very famous jazz song from around the World War II era.
It sounded like your...
Salt peanuts, salt peanuts. It
sounded like your articulators weren't as warm as they could be.
They're not.
Salty peanuts.
That's the rosé talking. And I had downloaded it in 2003 from iTunes. I tried to play it, and I have the file somewhere. My computer would not let me play it. I put in my iTunes code and my log username and all that stuff, and it still wouldn't let me play it. It's linked to my 2003 username and passcode, which I no longer remember. So it's essentially it's gone.
That sucks.
Yeah. So imagine that being a game that you want to play 5 years later on the Google Stadia, and you can't because you don't remember Robert, Robinson's big wang.
It's
hashtag 69 or whatever.
It's a conundrum, man. I feel like Google has their work cut out for them, and I feel like this is sort of like their. I don't know, man. It feels a little rushed. It feels like with Disney Plus dropping, this week. Plus they got Star Wars Fallen Order that came out today,
right?
Which I thought was an interesting kind of play, where they would drop The Mandalorian at the top of the week and then Fallen Order at the end of the week.
Yes, they had two big drops.
Star Wars
drops. Boom.
Bookend this week because I actually picked up Star Wars Fallen Order today. I picked it up 2.5 hours ago.
I'm super excited to hear about it.
It's yeah. We'll get to that
next
when
episode.
we get to that.
If I don't delete it on accident.
Dick. But what else you got? Oh yeah.
I got one more thing, but
all
then
right.
you go ahead.
Well, my one more. I guess this is one more thing. Yeah. One more thing for me. Well, two more things. The new Sonic the Hedgehog trailer. Did you
Yes.
see
Okay.
it?
I'm glad you brought it up. I did.
I'm Sonic, a little ball of super energy in an extremely handsome package. On my planet, people were always after my powers, so I came to yours. It gets a little lonely, but that's okay. I am living my best life on Earth. Ow! Let the plate Sonic! Let the pitcher's mound also Sonic! Ugh, I can't with that guy.
I'm excited
Oh,
about
we're
it
going.
now.
We're going.
I'm excited. I wasn't excited about it the first trailer, but
We already said on this podcast.
This redesign really made me enjoy. I was into this trailer. I really was. I was like, huh. Even fucking our boy Carrie and his Dr. Robotnik scenery chewing ass. I was like,
Mr. Dr. Robotnik, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to tell me where it is.
Wait! Don't
it's
hurt
just
her.
it's Jim Carrey, the mask, but with a giant mustache, and I'm there for it. I don't give a fuck. I'll see this movie in the theater. I'll pay $20.
I kind of think we have to see it opening night. 12 o'clock.
I mean, I'm gung ho, but I don't know if I'm.
How
that
drunk
gung-ho.
can we get for Sonic the Hedgehog?
Oh, like fall down dumb face
yeah,
drunk.
perfect.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it strikes all the right notes for me for a movie like this. Like I started watching the trailer begrudgingly. I was like,
I'm
let
glad
me
you brought it
see
up.
what kind of fuckery is. And by the end of it, I was cheesing and laughing. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna see that.
Yeah. It looks so much better. His eyes are bigger.
Oh yeah. Like it doesn't look like a weirdo. It doesn't look like some weird kind of the original trailer felt like they weren't sure how they wanted to. They weren't sure about the realism in this. They were like, we're gonna try to make this real, but keep to the cartoony aspect of what this property is. We're gonna ride that line, and I don't think that it served. I think the redesign is wholeheartedly locked in a cartoon aspect. It's basically like if Toontown from Who Framed Roger Rabbit or meets Our Real World.
Right.
It's like that, but without an actual Toontown.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
which you think would be the logical place to go from the beginning.
Right.
Why would you make a more realistic but still highly unrealistic blue hedgehog?
Yeah, why? Why do that?
That is very gross. Let's go.
Because they don't know.
Like I buy my man Madston in this now.
Right.
Even like I didn't buy him talking to that semi-realistic, too realistic for not real purposes. Oh yeah. I'm down for it. And the last bit of news from me is we're getting a Beverly Hills Cop that's coming right to Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Produced by Jerry Bruckheimer. Axel Foley's gonna make a return in Beverly Hills Cop
With Eddie
4.
Murphy? He's back.
In a huge way.
I watched him this week on Comedians in
cars?
Drinking Cars and
Drinking coffee.
Drinking Cars with
Comedians
coffee.
getting coffee.
It's
Comedians in cars getting coffee.
No, it's comedians drinking cars while burning alive in hot coffee.
Okay.
So much more interesting.
Oh, that it would
he's
be.
just screaming the whole time.
It would be.
So it's like you don't know what he's saying, but he's just like, I'm burning, it's hot, and then he can't really talk because he's like drinking cars.
The episode was good.
It's great, yeah.
Okay,
he's good. He's he's awesome.
Fucking
Again, it was surprising me how good he is in Dolomite Is My Name.
Why is that surprising to you?
Because he was gone for so long. He did so many fucking Disney children movies.
But
that,
before he did those Disney children's movies, he was already an accomplished legend.
Of course.
As far as
you know who else was? Marlon Brando.
Yeah, so Marlon did some shit when he was at the end of his career, as most motherfuckers do. I loved. But
There's
you
plenty
saw,
of actors who fell off.
You saw Marlon in what's the one he did with De Niro and our boy Edward Norton, the something.
Marlon Brando. Edward Norton. Is it the one where Edward Norton's like, when did you? No, Robert De Niro's like, when did you? The Heist.
Yeah, I think it is
the
the
heist.
heist. Yeah, I think it is
And
the heist.
Robert De Niro's like, when did you start thinking you were smarter than me?
Yeah. Well, that's the one. I think that's the last one Brando did.
I think the heist came out the same time as Heat.
Did it?
I think that it was coupled.
That can't be right.
It came out at the same time as another sort of bank robbery.
Because he was in Heat. Robert was in Heat. It couldn't have been that.
Or then maybe it was Ocean's 11. Or it was some other heisty kind of movie that was better than the heist, and so the heist got kind of like underlooked.
I think it
sort
was
of like
I think
it was the deep
undue.
impact to Armageddon, but I don't know what the Armageddon heist movie was of this.
I liked the heist.
Yeah.
I think it was Marlon Brando's last picture. Edward Norton does a standout job in it, and De Niro was. I mean, De Niro.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with this.
It's okay.
There was a tangent.
There was a Breath of the Wild 2 release date sort of rumor.
Oh, Black Adam got a release date as well.
That's it. That's the other thing I was thinking.
Black Adam got a release date as well.
Explain Black Adam. I'll go back to this.
Well, Black Adam was Shazam before Shazam.
Right.
He was, in the Shazam movie, how the Wizard, he was like looking for a champion or whatever. Well, that's because his first champion was Black Adam, and Black Adam basically flipped on these motherfuckers.
Right.
He basically became a villain. He started as a hero and then became a villain.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna spin it for the movie because it sounds like I don't think I've ever. The Rock doesn't play villains.
Yes,
the last
that's right.
villain he played was Doom.
Yeah, we talked about that.
We talked about that on the show. So I'm interested to see what kind of take they're gonna take with Black Adam. If they're gonna make him. If they're going to be telling the story of Black Adam like in his hero period, and then at the end we see the turn where he becomes a villain,
that'd be cool.
It would be. I actually wouldn't mind seeing that. But the history or the character as he stands now in the DC universe, he's a bad guy.
Yeah,
and has been for a considerable amount of time now.
Right. Fallen heroes are fun to watch. That's why sort of like the end of The Last Jedi, there was that moment where Kylo Ren offers Rey his hand. And I think the movie would have been so much better if she took it. And then when we were going into The Rise of Skywalker being like, oh gosh, what's going to happen? Is she bad? Is she evil? Is she the new... Is she?
I kind of like that they didn't because it still holds that that belief for this third one. It could be that The Rise of Skywalker is Kylo Ren stopping Rey, who is one of the most powerful untrained force users we have ever fucking seen.
Yeah.
She still has no training and is still more powerful than, say, Kai and like the Emperor and like.
Do you want to hear about rumors now or next episode?
Let's wait till next episode. I don't want to hear about rumors because I'm about to shit all over the Mandalorian. Well, not shit.
Right. So the best game on Nintendo Switch is Breath of the Wild, The Legend of Zelda. The second game, apparently, there's been rumors that they've been talking about it's coming out on the Switch Pro or the Switch 2, whatever they're going to call it, which is going to support 4K resolution in 2021.
Wait, the Switch, the handheld version is going to support?
Yep.
4K resolution?
Yep. The new Switch. Because basically we're a year or two away and they're going to bring out another Switch.
Yeah.
That's going to be just like this Switch. It's just going to have 4K resolution. Which is worth it, honestly, to be
But
quite
on
honest.
a screen that small, how
No.
can you
It's
tell?
because when you plug that thing into your TV,
Right.
it's not coming out as 4K.
Right.
It's only coming out as 1080p.
Right. Okay.
But then
so
again,
if you have a 4K television,
yes,
you can use a 4K Switch, and
yes,
that okay.
exactly. But PlayStation isn't 4K yet.
Is it that much of a marked difference?
If you watch them side by side, they are. But if you just sit down and watch Star Wars on Blu-ray versus Star Wars 4K, it's not that big.
So you're talking about taking your Switch as less of a gaming device and more of a streaming content device.
You can do that too, but no, I think when you're playing games, it's basically like when you walked over to my house and when I had Red Dead Redemption 2 and you were looking at the TV and you're like, wow, this looks really, really good. That's the difference between your TV and my TV.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Whatever that means to you. I think if you don't, if it doesn't, I think if you're going to buy a new TV, buy a 4K TV, obviously. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, at this point.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, we're already talking 8K and shit now. So.
Right. Well, 8K is going to set you back thousands and thousands of dollars.
Well, I mean, I feel like if you're in the market for a fucking new TV,
right?
Why go to a format that in a few years is going to be outdated anyway? Why not just spend the money for the one that it's going to be?
Let's say your TV breaks today.
Right.
Right. And you want to buy a new TV.
Right.
Okay. What are you're going to spend $500 to $1,000 on 4K? Or are you going to spend $5,000 to $8,000 on 8K. You don't.
I feel like if I had the money to spend,
but you don't. That's the whole point.
But like, if you're asking me if I have the money to spend, just buy the fucking 8K version.
Yes, if you do, but you don't. There's like 4 people who've got $8,000 to spend on TV.
Well, I feel like if my TV broke today, I wouldn't go for 4K anyway.
No. Why not?
Because I mean, it's like that difference, that marked difference of being like, oh, this is better, but
you're basically like you can pay like $100 more for a 4K TV.
It's not that much. It's not just $100 more.
It's close, man. It's up there. Then
so like your 1080p and your 4K are about comparable in price now. So you're saying like Black Friday is right around the fucking corner.
Yeah.
That would be the time to up my resolution game.
Yeah.
What I'm saying. Yeah.
But your shit's fine.
Yeah, my time. Yeah,
just wait.
Yeah,
just wait.
No,
it's
I'm
fine.
I'm not buying anything for Black.
This shit changes every 4 years, anyways.
I'm just have my fingers crossed that my PlayStation will last long enough, just long enough, Mikey. Because it's like I had to reformat it basically to get it to work again.
Yeah,
I had to go get a USB hard drive, go to the PlayStation.com website, download the operating system to plug into the PlayStation so that when it turned on, it would re-up the operating system. I basically had to reform. Like I lost everything.
All your saves?
All of them.
This is what happened from delete. Oh God, damn.
I mean, luckily, because I'm a PlayStation Plus member.
You got cloud saves.
I got cloud saves, but everything's wiped.
Yeah.
It's basically turning it back on after the reformat is like turning on a brand new PlayStation.
This is
like it asks you the same like questions. Here's what time zone are you in? What language do you want this thing in? Everything. So that was me. Sunday. It was Sunday night this happened.
Yeah.
And I started to lose my shit, and I was like,
okay,
nope.
But
I was wait. All I need is a USB, because my USB, I had a USB that wasn't working, and so it started to make me a little bit more manic when I was plugging in and not getting the response. So I was like, you know what? I ordered 2 fucking USBs from Amazon.
I have them here.
And I had them at work. I literally went to work the next day and took one from work.
Why did you order 2?
Because you can't order one.
Oh God, yeah.
They only come 2.
Of course not. And it comes in gigantic, like
the super
long
fucking packaging. And I was like,
thanks.
Like if I had just, I knew that. I knew if I had just waited, that it would have worked with something else. But now I have
system failure.
Catastrophic.
But look. Okay, don't buy a Google Stadia, because this is what's going to happen. Your PlayStation breaks. If it does, you take it to one of these places and they fix it for $75.
Yeah, I know.
And then you just wait for PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I know. I want it to last.
Okay.
Because it's doing shit like it'll just spit the fucking disc out at random points now. So
basically, it's mimicking your personality. Like if you were my PlayStation, and I put like a disc in, you'd be like, "Fuck you, I don't want to play a game."
He's like, "Yeah, I know you might be 17 hours into this playthrough already, but I'm done." Just spits it right the fuck out.
I got one more piece of news. The Hollywood Reporter says that Kevin Feige is currently developing shows based around Ms. Marvel, studio's first Muslim hero, which we know about, as well as She-Hulk and Moon Knight. And all 3 will appear on the big screen after their Disney Plus debuts.
So they're making a She-Hulk, Moon Knight, and Ms. Marvel movie?
It doesn't say that they're going to give them specific movies, but they will probably appear in upcoming movies, which is cool.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so like it's just...
basically what they're finally doing is what DC... not DC, but they're finally linking their larger movie universe to their smaller, I guess
TV
universe. Yeah.
Basically, when Daredevil season 1 came out, and we were all like, "This is amazing! We love Daredevil." On Netflix.
I hear he signed on to be in, like, he's gonna Charlie Cox or whatever, the guy who plays Daredevil. Apparently, he will end up appearing in something in the.
That'd be great.
Which they started to do because first season of oh my God, why am I blanking on it, with Coulson, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they did that where the lady who played Lady Sif in the Thor movies appears in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Like, that's right.
In an episode where they're trying to run down some Asgardian tech or whatever.
Which I can watch. Great. I can watch Agent Carter now because it's on Disney+.
Oh, you couldn't watch it before?
It wasn't on Netflix, yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. And I wasn't going to pay for it, right?
Oh, fair. Yeah, fair.
But this opens up another realm of things, and Kevin Feige says, if you want to understand everything in future Marvel movies, you'll probably need a Disney Plus subscription because events from the new shows will factor into forthcoming films such as Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. The Scarlet Witch will be a key character in that movie, and Feige points out that the Loki series will tie in as well. So I'm not sure that we've actually acknowledged that before, but it does. Which is cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
I think that's what we've been talking about on the show for a while, that they don't link these things that they should.
Yeah. Will the Mandalorian tie into the Rise of Skywalker?
Well, people are already speculating that it does and will and have. I feel like we could talk about that in our next podcast.
Let's talk about it. I'm your host, Lawrence Dial. I'm here with my co-host, Robert Carmer Robinson.
And we'll be back.
Sorry, I said your name, and that gave you nothing to say.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do it again. I'm your co-host, Robert Carmer Robinson. I'm here with...
Lawrence Dial!
Lawrence Dial.
That was shitty.
I'm
your boy, Rob Carmer Robinson.
And I'm Lawrence Dial. Thank you for listening. You can find us on What We Into at Facebook, on Facebook.
You want to try that again, player?
I'm not
you can find us at...
You know what? Okay.
You can find us at What We Into at Facebook, on Facebook.
You can find us on Facebook at What We Into. And what I've started doing, and I'm going to be better about this, all these things that we're talking about, at least the notes, if you send me a thing, I'll put it up on the Facebook page. I'm putting it up there as I find them. Mm-hmm. So if you go to the Facebook page, you can read the news before the episode comes out. Or if you hear the episode and there's something you want to know more about, or you want to fact check us, or something sounds like bullshit to you, you can go on the What We Into Facebook page and you can find that article and you can read it. You can see that we basically only pull from like 4 different sources for our news.
Strong sources.
They're strong. They're really, really strong.
No
so there you go.
No
That's on
news.
Facebook, What We Into. You can send us an email at whatweinto@gmail.com. Send us $1 at patreon.com/whatweinto. That actually helps out a bunch.
A ton, guys.
We are working people. We could make these so much better if we didn't have to work.
Really.
And
trying to be a gentleman of leisure, guys.
Yeah.
Help us become gentlemen of leisures.
Dial_Lawrence on Twitter. What We Into podcast on Instagram.
Is that
LawrenceDial.com.
I don't remember my podcast. I don't remember my website, but it's always going to be in the notes at the bottom. So if you're interested, holla at your boy.
Later, haters.
God, I hate you.
No, you don't. You love me.
I hate you
Love you so much.
Later, haters. That's never going to be a thing.
It is a thing.
That is not a thing.
I willed it into existence.
It's a thing for Nelson Muntz, and he's a homeless bon vivant.
Nelson, who's Nelson Muntz?
Wow.
Nelson Muntz. I'm gonna Google it. Don't worry. I'm not gonna. Oh, it's Nelson.
Yeah.
Ha ha.
Later, haters.
Later, haters. That's him.
I don't agree. You're super sweet. Yesterday you liked all of my tweets.
You're such a hit. You've got the wit. Trust me, those trolls are full of
shocking things that just aren't true, Jane. Thanks, guys.
There may be haters on the internet, yeah, but baby, there are way more of us. So when someone offends a friend, take a second to go and say, just a comment or two to make them feel good. You're my best friend.
You're great. You drink the daily recommended amount of water.
You clap at a really thoughtful volume.
Yeah!